like imagine being Paul McCartney's grandkid, right? Like he's got like 4 grandkids, I think, and like I don't know how many great grandchildren. Just imagine like just walking down the street and it's just like you're the heir to the $1 billion McCartney, conglomerate, and your grandfather was a Beatle. Like,
from the biggest band of all time.
Fuck, dude.
And like, probably like I think the best songwriter in that band. So,
so Paul is you think Paul is a better songwriter than John?
Dude, I'm totally Paul guy.
Listen, I'm a Paul guy too, like crazy. By the way, if you go on YouTube, you can find someone isolated the bass tracks of Abbey Road. And so you could just hear the bass. And here's the funniest part about those later Beatle albums and stuff. 2 things that are hilarious. One, the dude never repeats himself ever when he's playing bass. Like he does not repeat himself. Like, like bass is rhythm, right? So how the fuck are you not going to repeat yourself? Dude doesn't repeat. 2, like even on George Harrison songs, like you listen to just the bass, the isolated bass, he's written a completely different song underneath.
He's a monster bass player. And actually,
we're losing you, Howie.
Oh, shit.
Is that you or me? I can't tell.
No. I can't. Well, we're back now. It could be either. Okay. My internet here has been.
I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame, Howie. I'm sorry.
Well, we can do 50-50. Let's do 50-50.
Oh, dude. So nice of you.
Yeah. But McCartney, I think like when he's not singing, he can do more crazy bass lines. And I think he's actually revered in the bass community as a phenomenal melodic bass player. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that he was actually a guitar player. So a bass player who like just like starts off and their bass is their primary instrument, and they want to be a bass player. I think they're more about just holding down the groove, keeping the pocket, whatever. Whereas like if you get guitar players who transition to bass, I find that sometimes they come up with interesting things. That's a whole lot of the Nim Vind stuff, is because Robbie was a guitar player. It was forced by Chris to, hey, take 2 strings off. You're playing bass now. It's actually what happened to me too. And so then you just end up writing kind of like what would normally be maybe guitar lines.
Right.
And so
that's what Lemmy's doing too.
Yeah.
Lemmy's going like this. He's doing the
So Lemmy, he always kind of considered himself more of like a rhythm guitar player more than a bass player. So I mean, he even did that band. What were they called? Something
Cat.
Yeah, something
Rockabilly
band. So he's live he'd play his Rickenbacker.
Yeah,
and there'd be an upright bass, and on the records he's playing a fucking acoustic guitar, and it's like there's still another bass there. So it's
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Paul McCartney doesn't get enough. I know he's in the biggest band in the world. I know he's the greatest musician in the world, but nobody thinks of him for his bass playing and his approach. I'm sorry?
Except for bass players. Bass players love him. He's like, he's in, if there's a top 3, he's in it. It'd be like him, James Jamerson, who did all like the Motown stuff. Really renowned. And then I don't know who you'd have as the third.
You know what's interesting though about the bass? It's always like second fiddle. Not second fiddle is so the wrong word. I'm sorry, because it's like components of a thing. I don't want to say second fiddle. What I really mean to say is bass sort of, as you said, bass holds down the pocket. It's rhythm. It is doing the rhythm with the drums and the bass in the rhythm section. But reggae is this weird anomaly where the bass is actually like up front and is actually leading everything. And the guitar, like ska, is doing the rhythm.
Yeah. Well, in all music, I find the bass does control the song, and what the bass does changes the feel of the song all in all. So yeah, it can
Even more so than the drums.
Well, yeah, I think so because you're basically the glue between the drums and the guitar, right? So you can control what's going on, and like how you play with the drums. Are you behind the drums? Are you ahead of the drums? How are you interacting with the guitar? You can totally control the song and how it feels. Is it an aggressive song? Is it a laid back song? All that stuff can be controlled by the bass, which is one of the things that like really drew me to it. Because like I started off as a guitar player, and I'm not such a great guitar player anymore, but for a while there, I was pretty fucking good. Don't mean to. Well, actually, that sounds pretty douchey to say now.
No.
But
listen, I think everybody knows. If you listen to earlier in this episode, Howie is expressed incredible humility without even trying to. So you could say that. It's okay.
Well,
I think that's
fine. But yeah, so it wasn't, I didn't gravitate to the bass because it was like a lot of people think that maybe the bass is the easier instrument, or or it's, I didn't gravitate it, or like, it's not about being like shoved in a corner. It's just, I think it's just, yeah, you have more control, and it's like something about having a groove, man. It's so much fun. Just like really like getting tight with the drummer, and especially when you play with like, I've been really lucky that I've played with awesome drummers, and I think they actually make me sound as a better drummer or a bass player than I am. Like interact with Tony. Oh, well, just like they make it easy for you to like. It's like with the rhythm section, it's kind of like a dance, like you're tangoing with the other person, right? So it's like the interaction can be easier when they give you more space to do it, or they can lead you in certain ways. Tony's a really expressive drummer, so he was really like it was awesome. With his playing, I knew immediately what to do, and Adam's the exact same way, and it's awesome. And it just makes it like a real treat to play with people like that.